The New England Patriots are going to the Super Bowl for the first time in 7 long seasons, as we are going to preview and predict both the AFC and NFC championship games, telling you who is going to be going to Super Bowl 60. And I'm telling you right now, the New England Patriots will be there because they're the better team, baby. And I believe that even if Bo Nix was healthy, but especially now that it's going to be Jarrett Stidham at quarterback for the Denver Broncos, the Patriots are simply a more complete team than the Denver Broncos. Offensively, Denver has the better offensive line. According to PFF, they had the best offensive line in football this year. But the Pats are solid everywhere on the offensive line, and they're better everywhere else as well. The Pats running backs and tight ends are better. If you haven't been watching, you might think the Broncos wide receivers are better. Wrong. The Patriots wide receiver core is playing out of their mind right now. They have been balling, and obviously the New England Patriots have the edge at quarterback with the MVP, Drake May. Now to the defenses. The Denver Broncos was better in the regular season, and most would say it's still better. However, they finished the regular season poorly, and this statement seems crazy after they forced 5 turnovers last week versus the Buffalo Bills. But the Bills were frying that defense, okay? They were going up and down the field on the Denver Broncos defense with Brandon Cooks basically operating as the wide receiver 1 in Buffalo. 440 yards of total offense, 180 yards on the ground, and they put 30 points up on the board on this Denver Broncos defense. The Patriots don't need to do all of that in order to win this game. I believe if they get to 24 points while Drake May takes care of the football, which has been a concern, especially the fumbles the last couple of weeks. It has been a concern. But if they get to 24 points, the Denver Broncos cannot beat them. I think the New England Patriots get to 24 points. I think Drake May throws for 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, plays a clean turnover-free game. Jarrett Stidham plays admirably, and the Broncos fight. But come on, man. It's the Pats all day, 24-19, and we will be moving on to Super Bowl 60. Sammy, what do you think, brother? Who will represent the AFC in Super Bowl 60? Is it mine and Joe's New England Patriots or the Denver Broncos?
I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it. I hate this, bro. I really... Why did Bo Nix have to get hurt, bro? Because now it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. I was going to pick the Broncos, not because I thought they were a better team, but because out of spite. It was out of pettiness, okay? I was going to violate the integrity of what I do to pick the Broncos. It's going to be New England, bro. New England's going to win. And it's you see the QB battles Drake May versus Jarrett Stidham, a guy who might be the MVP of the league, or a backup who hasn't played a snap in 3 years. Nitrogen bomb versus coughing baby. What are we talking about here, okay? Even if Bo Nix did play, it's this Mike Vrabel's defenses have been awesome this playoffs. Now, granted, he's gotten 2 stinkers from 2 QBs that I thought I trusted. I trust Sean Payton to put up a fight. I think he'll develop a great game plan. I do think this game is going to be closer than people think it's going to be. But ultimately, you're going to have to rely on Jarrett Stidham to make throws that he hasn't done in years. And I simply trust Drake May to make throws at the opportune times as he has done in these playoffs. Yeah, he hasn't taken care of the ball very well, but it's going to take the Broncos turning the ball over at the level that the Texans were doing and no stupid QB mistakes from Jarrett Stidham for them to win this game. And I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to pick the Patriots to win. I don't know what the line is, but I'm going to pick the Patriots to cover as well. I was in euphoria for 5 years and my team was still losing, but at least I knew the Patriots the Patriots and Bills were going to lose. I just knew it. And then here they are again. I would have accepted the Bills. The damn Patriots, you guys don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve this. You guys, no, I'm going to say it. You guys don't deserve this. You guys don't know what suffering is. I went 5 years with Mac Jones. I went 5 years with Mac Jones. And now I know pain. No, you don't know pain, okay? You don't know anything, okay? Matt, you don't know a single thing about pain, okay? Because this guy, let's get a little bit of an insider scoop. This man is also a Spurs fan, okay? And Spurs fans don't even know about pain.
Hey, same thing. Those 7 years were hard.
Oh, 7 years. Oh, my God. 7 years of pain. Oh, God. And then you get the number 1 overall pick. You get Victor Wembanyama. Things go your way. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say this very close to the mic so everybody can hear me, okay? These Patriots fans don't deserve it. I will be rooting on your downfall. I'm picking you guys to win. I really hope Jarrett Stidham sticks it to you guys. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. I'm incredibly petty. I will be hate watching the Patriots for as long as I breathe. As long as they have no success, I will be happy.
I'm glad that you brought up the Spurs. We got to do an off-season video on like how the Spurs and Patriots are just on like identical trajectories. 5+ championships. You get a new superstar in there. You start winning again. You get back to the AFC. You get back to the AFC Championship, Super Bowl, all that. We should do a video. That sounds like a fun video. I think that would be a wonderful video.
Can we talk about the Rams and Seahawks now? How about that? That's a pretty
not yet, because I still have more to say about the New England Patriots. Okay, first of all, in terms of some real football analysis. Okay, this is real football analysis here. It's not just random Patriots fan propaganda. Okay, this is real football analysis. All right. I am a little bit nervous for the Patriots pass rush because they're not facing a truly horrendous offensive line this week. Obviously, the first 2 weeks, they faced two of the worst offensive lines in football with the Chargers and the Texans. And Denver's, like I mentioned, is elite. So I'm nervous they won't get as much pressure. However, interim defensive coordinator Zach Kerr has done an absolutely outstanding job generating pressure from the blitz. So I think we still can generate a good amount of pressure, but it won't be nearly as much, nearly at the rate as we did the first couple of weeks. And that kind of leads me into my next point of order, Sammy. And this is going to be Patriots propaganda. So there was some real football analysis, and now I'm back to Patriots propaganda, baby. Okay. Everyone talking about the Patriots have had the easiest path to the Super Bowl ever. Now, the defense has had a cakewalk. Like I just mentioned, they faced the Chargers offensive line, who PFF had ranked 30th, the Texans offensive line that PFF had ranked 29th. Okay. And obviously Denver's offensive line, like I mentioned, is first, but Jared Stidham replaces Nick. So that kind of cancels everything out there. But can we stop pretending like Drake May in this offense has had a cakewalk? The first playoff game was versus the Chargers defense, which is at least a top 8 defense in football this year, according to basically every metric you look at. The Chargers defense is one of the best in football. Then last week, they faced the best defense in football in the Houston Texans, one that before the game, you were talking about Legion of Boom. Okay, that's how good the Houston Texans defense was before that game.
Like so let's not pretend they played like
they faced nobody. They played a damn good game, and they caught a freaking L, and now they got their ass back home to Houston before their next flight back to Cancun. Okay, that's what happened to the Houston Texans. And now, this week, they're going to face the third best defense, in my opinion, in football. Definitely a top 5 defense with the Denver Broncos. So just to get to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to face 3 of the top 8 defenses, 2 of the top 3, in my opinion. And if they win this and go to the Super Bowl, they're going to have to either face Seattle, which to me is the second best defense in the league, or the Rams, which is a top 10 defense in the league as well. So again, this is not a cakewalk for Drake May, okay? Maybe it is for the Patriots defense. It is not for Drake May. Drake May is having to earn his keep against the best defenses in football, and he's going to have to take care of the football if they want to beat the Denver Broncos this week, but they will, okay? Obviously, they're going to. And Sammy, by the way, speaking of Patriots propaganda, if I haven't already gotten off enough Patriots propaganda, here goes some more, okay? Sammy, history repeats itself, all right? You want to know something? 25 years ago, there was a second-year quarterback wasn't having a great playoffs individually, but was getting the job done, while a defense that got red hot during the postseason led his team to the Super Bowl. And you know what team was waiting for the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, Sammy? At that time, it was the St. Louis Rams, but it was the Rams. Okay. How about the second iteration of the Patriots dynasty? Okay. 11 years ago, led by a quarterback having an MVP caliber season and a good defense, the Patriots won a tough divisional game before dominating the AFC Championship game, moving on to the Super Bowl to face the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, man, we've seen this movie before. Okay, we've seen it before, brother. The Patriots will be in the Super Bowl and have an opportunity to repeat history or just make even more history in the first place, my friend. But based on the look on your face over there, based on the look on your stupid, sad, Dolphins-loving face, we're going to move on to the NFC Championship, okay? Where the 5-seeded Los Angeles Rams, coming off 2 nail-biting back-and-forth victories against the Panthers and last week in an absolute barn burner versus the Chicago Bears, are heading into Seattle to face the 1-seeded Seattle Seahawks, who absolutely demolished the hospital San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional round. And this will be the third time that these NFC West foes have battled it out this season. Both the previous games were incredible. The first game in LA, the Rams won 21-19. In that game, Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, but even with all those picks, Jason Myers of the Seahawks had a kick to win it at the buzzer, which did not go through, and the Rams took home the victory. The second game was in Seattle on Thursday Night Football, and it might have been the game of the year. To give you a quick refresher, the Rams had a 30-14 lead with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then Rashid Shaheed returned a punt for a touchdown, followed by a two-point conversion, followed by another Seahawks touchdown, and then the craziest and most controversial two-point conversion ever by Zach Charbonnet to tie the game at 30. Then Rams kicker Hunter Mevis missed a 48-yard field goal near the end of regulation, sending it into overtime, where the Rams then responded first. Okay, they struck first thanks to Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua, 40-yard touchdown, but then the Seahawks responded. Darnold to JSN, and then another two-point conversion, and the Seahawks won 38-37. And that is the reason that this game is in Seattle instead of LA. If LA would have won that game, this game would be in LA. However, now it's in Seattle, and the Seattle Seahawks, as we know, as we saw last week after that first kickoff return by Rashid Shaheed, they have a tremendous home field advantage in Seattle. So, Sammy, this game is going to be a classic. I am very confident in that, but I want to hear from you, brother. Who do you got? Rams or Seahawks? Who is advancing to Super Bowl 60?
Let me tell you, this is actually a difficult decision to make, but then I remembered I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl, so I had to go with my pick. I had to go with the Rams. I feel like a lot of people see the Rams struggling against the Panthers, and then they struggled against the Bears, and they're like, oh, the Seahawks are going to just dog walk because you guys blew out the 49ers. Okay, first of all, this is football, okay? It's also football in the same division, which is a completely different level of football in and of itself. Second of all, the Seahawks dog walking the Niners isn't the flex that you think it is. It's only the flex that you think it is because it happened in a playoff setting. Realistically, the Niners had no shot in this game. It's why everybody picked the Seahawks to win. They are literally a hospital. If they had won this game, it would have been one of the biggest upsets in NFL history. I am not, and that's not speaking hyperbolically. That is literally one of the great, like even what happened with the Eagles, like that should not have happened. Right? So it was either you were going to face the Rams earlier in the divisional or you were going to face the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Either way, Rams do. I'll tell you how the game's going to go. The Rams are going to go off to a hot start. They're going to take the lead. The Seahawks are going to fight back like the underdog that they are. In the third quarter, you're going to see Sam Darnold do what Sam Darnold has always done, and he's going to throw a pick, right? Right when they're about to come back, he's going to throw a pick. And then in the fourth quarter, you're going to need Sam Darnold to please muster up a drive. We need it or the game is over. And he's going to go either 3 and out or he's just not going to get anything. I get it. I really do understand that, the Seahawks have a fantastic defense. And you think that just because Sam Darnold is changed his colors and changed how he's played, and all of a sudden he has a wide receiver one, which he's had before, and he has all these things, right? That's not going to take the stink off. Sam Darnold still has to show me. He needs to show Matt. He needs to show everybody in the NFL that he will not choke, right? And he's not going to ride the coattails of whatever is going on in Seattle, all these special teams touchdowns that Rashid Shaheed is doing. Which, by the way, shout out to the Seattle Seahawks front office for picking him up, because I said that was going to be a big pickup when it happened, and it paid off in the playoffs. But regardless of that, I'm picking the Rams to win this game. I'm expecting a dominant performance from Puka Nacua like he did on that Thursday night. I'm picking the Rams to go to the Super Bowl to face the New England Patriots and put an end to this disaster class.
You hope. But listen, Sammy, to build on a couple of your points, the first point, Rashid Shaheed, okay? Rashid Shaheed has been an outstanding pickup. Again, I talked about it in the recap I did of the previous matchup between these two teams. If they don't have Rashid Shaheed in that game, they don't have this game at home. Again, this game is in Los Angeles instead of in Seattle. That's how big that pickup of Rashid Shaheed was. And then to one of your first points, okay, people forget how football works sometimes. I think people don't understand that football is a week-to-week league, okay? Just saying that, they struggle with the Bears or, they struggle with the Panthers. Like, we saw it happen all the time through the regular season. Like, one of those teams would lose to a bad team, and then the next week they would beat a good team. Like, that's just how that's just how football works. Styles make fights, and it's a week-to-week league. You never know what's going to happen on a week-to-week basis. And like I mentioned with styles make fights, I think the Rams are a bad matchup for the Seattle Seahawks, and I think we saw it in each of the first 2 regular season matchups. Now, the Rams offense has made me a little bit nervous. It made me nervous last week versus the bad Chicago defense, but it was a bad weather game, so I'm not as concerned with that. But still, Matthew Stafford didn't look great in that game. However, I trust Matthew Stafford implicitly in the playoffs, okay? I trust him more than I trust any of the other 4 quarterbacks remaining, including my own quarterback, Drake May, okay? I trust him more than all of the other quarterbacks probably combined in the playoffs, okay? And as far as the Rams' run defense goes, which again, obviously was a concern, especially in the regular season, and especially facing now a hot run game and a running back in Kenneth Walker, I'm a little bit less concerned about that Seattle Seahawks run game now that Zach Charbonnet is out. That's a big loss for the Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be all on Kenneth Walker. And the Los Angeles Rams run game has been very solid in the postseason as well so far. They faced a couple of really good rush offenses. They held the Carolina running back duo of Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard to 18 carries for 55 yards. That's 3 yards per carry. So they shut down Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai for the Chicago Bears. It was 112 yards combined on 32 carries. So 3.5 yards per carry for that run game. So if they can slow down Kenneth Walker and this Seattle Seahawks run game, like you mentioned, Sammy, the pressure's going on Sam Darnold. And I like Sam Darnold a lot. He's had a career renaissance. He's been a pleasure to watch in Seattle. He was a pleasure to watch in Minnesota. He's earned being the Seattle Seahawks franchise quarterback going forward. But in big games and in big moments, especially in big games versus the Rams, I still don't trust him. In 2 games versus the Rams this year, he's got 6 picks. Okay, the performance with Minnesota in the wild card round last year, he took 8 sacks against the Rams. Okay, he's 1-3 in his last 4 games versus the Rams, and it took an absolute miracle in that game earlier this year for him to have that one. Okay, so I think the Seattle Seahawks have the better defense. The Seattle Seahawks definitely have the better special teams. However, I think the Rams have the far better offense, offensive line, weapons, and especially coach and quarterback McVay and Stafford. They've been in the playoffs. They've been in playoff wars. They know how to react in the moment. Mike McDonald is a great coach. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback, but neither have that experience. I think this is going to be a war. I think it's going to come down to the very end. And again, when it does come down to the end, I trust the Los Angeles Rams much more than I trust the Seattle Seahawks at this point. Plus, like you, Sammy, I picked the Rams as my Super Bowl pick in the preseason. Okay, so why would I go against them now? There's literally 0 point for me to pick against the Rams now when I picked them in the preseason. So the Los Angeles Rams are going to win this game. It's going to be 23-21, and it's going to be a Rams and Patriots Super Bowl in Super Bowl 60.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.